This is a nice, fairly simple but very beautiful piece for bass players. It's from a series of books called Viol Player, which are published by Rondo Publishing, written by Jackie Robertson Wade. It's a fantastic series it exists for treble, tenor and bass viols. Really good, progressive, step by step, everything you need to know from the very beginning of starting out on whichever size of viol you're playing. So this is the Italian Ground. It's from the end of book 2. Jackie has very kindly given permission for a PDF of it to be available. So again, if you look under the video, there's a link to a PDF copy of it, and there's information about where you can buy the book, any of the books in the Viol Player series. So do look them up, they're a really, really good resource. This is the Italian Ground then, starting. That is Philip the Pheasant. I feel I should introduce him because I'm beginning to realise he features on quite a lot of these videos. We always get a pheasant here in the summer. Actually, this is Philip II. Last year's pheasant was Philip. But if you hear him in the background, Philip II, that is who he is. Starting at the tip of the bow then, from the very beginning, let's see what happens. So, risk in three-time pieces is that you end up minim, crotchet, minim, crotchet, minim, crotchet, minim. Somebody else has passed their bow along and you run out. So you can help yourself out by starting right at the tip. You can also help yourself out by doing the suggested bowing in bar 4. So when you do 2 back bows in a row, what we don't want to hear is the first note stopping. You need plenty of bow for the first one, and it's just a kind of momentary separation. You don't stop the bow dead on the string. You just stop moving and then move the next one, but make sure you're not squashing the string while you do it. And it gets you nicely back to the tip. I'd use a 4 there because we used a 4 at the beginning and it stops that top string from sticking out. And a 4 there as well. So let's give that a go from the top. We're 1, 2, 3. So in that second section then, the first thing that you should think when you see something coming up that's on the top string, the first thing you think is bridge, near the bridge with the bow. If you try playing on the top string, miles away from the bridge, you'll notice, everybody knows this, it happens to all of us, you get a terrible sound. So as soon as you see it getting higher in pitch, bridge guarantees you a better sound. Right at the tip of the bow again. Fourth finger here, because of the quaver C. If you play an open string, and then you nip over to play the C, and then you nip back again, it's what I call windmilling. You end up just with lots of this going on to nip between strings, when actually it's much tidier and much smoother if you can put them on the same string as each other. So that's what the 4 is about in bar 11. It's a good non-windmilling technique. This is a nice 2 little back bows. If you don't tuck them in, you get that tiny little semiquaver on a forward bow and it's going to stick out. 9 then, tip of the bow, nice and near the bridge. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. Going on. So let's look at that section from 17. You need to retake your bow, don't you? 16 finishes there, retake. So you've got to leave that dotted minim slightly early. Rely on the resonance of the instrument. You take your bow off and that sound will just continue to bloom while you sort yourself out back to the tip. You're going to need the support of your ring finger here to take the bow off the string. Just be really careful that we don't hear a whoosh as the bow speeds up as you lift it off. Should be absolutely imperceptible. You're on the string, you're on the string, and you're suddenly bowing thinner. And it just happens really gradually as this finger comes and lifts the hair, takes the weight of the hair and lifts the bow gradually. You can support it with your thumb, with your first finger to get it nice and reliably back on the string. And then you're ready at the tip to start this next section. Fourth finger because of this pair of quavers, both on the A string. Top string because you're heading up. 4. Open string. And that F is the best note in the whole of that section, isn't it, in 22? So you've got to reserve your best quality sound for that note. And that means you need to be near the bridge. It means you need plenty of contact with your middle finger and the hair onto the string. And then you can lose some of that contact and some of that weight as you go through the bar. So the best quality comes on that top one, and then it relaxes. You can bar the next 2 notes with your first finger. And again here, such a viol playing thing that, isn't it? The falling away. Plenty of contact on the dotted crotchet. But by the time I'm at the end of the bar, my ring finger is doing most of the work in just supporting, lifting the weight so that the bow is just really tickling the string by the end of it. Shall we play from 17, from the beginning of that section? Tip after 3. 1, 2, 3. Going on. Section then. Make sure you've got space left for this extra little back bow in whatever bar that is, 28, 27, 26. Just leave yourself a bit of bow. Now we've got quite a long way through the bow here, haven't we? We've got to the awkward bit at the heel, but it's okay because in 29, just make sure you get all the way back on that dotted crotchet. And then this little tug. You don't need any bow, do you, for the semi-quaver? I'm practically at the tip before I play it. This is that section then. 25. Near the bridge because you're on the top string. Here we go. 2, 3. that section where fourth fingers are marked to reduce the amount of windmilling. So looking from the beginning of the section, 4 to keep it on the same string as the C, 4 again to keep it all on the A string, and again here, 4 to keep that pair on the same string, open string, and definitely a 4 to finish with. The other thing to watch in this section is that if you're not careful, a string of quavers it's all the right notes and it's all in time, it's all in a fairly decent part of the bow. I didn't get stuck down here. It's just not very interesting. So what are we going to do to make that whole 4-5 bars of quavers flow a bit better? I think the main thing I'm doing is varying the amount of bow I use per quaver. So there isn't a sort of, this is a quaver length, this is a crotchet, this is a minim. There's a variety of length of bow per quaver. And if you were, as a starting point, to just follow the contour of the melody, so as it rises you could use more bow and as it falls you could use slightly less, then it'll give you a kind of natural shape without having to think too hard about it. If you do it too much, you start to feel a bit seasick. So you've got to moderate it slightly, but try it and just see what happens. So shall we play together from 33 and just experiment with length of bow. 33, 1, 2, 3. The easiest one's at the end, isn't it? Where plenty of bow for the high mid, and as it falls away, just less and less. You get a couple of bars off at the start of the next section. So let's pick up 43 where you come in. It's such a good interval, that, isn't it? The really telling one. So you're going to start at the tip of the bow. I'm not sure about the two back bows here. There's always a variety of bowing decisions to take, and there are good reasons for and against each one. You've got to decide what you value the most, if you like, in your phrase. And I would like 46 to come out on a forward bow. I think that's the most important note of the phrase. I think it's crucial that you don't take your finger off it when you move down to the B. And then the bowing works itself out from there. Let's play together from 43. 1, 2, 3. Still got my second finger down, look on the C. So 49 then, what do we need to think about in this section? Personal choice, but I'd put a full finger on there. There's another good opportunity for that falling away. So plenty of contact with the string on the dotted crotchet. But by the time you get to the G, my ring finger is really taking most of the weight of the bow. Keep the G down as you cross the string. Again, don't let the F go. And a 4 to finish the section. Let's play it together. 49. Here we go. 2, 3. I like the last crotchet of 56 to be an upbeat into this last section. And then you need to reach back to find the F natural on that first fret. You could shift, I guess, and put a 3 at the end of 56. 3 on the G, 1 on the F natural. Either way, you've got to have space to get the 1 back on there. Why don't you go back to first position here? That's bar 59. 4. Let's do that section and we'll go from the last crotchet of 56, so after 2. Back bow, not a whole bow. Do want to get to the tip, but I don't need the whole bow to do it. Last crotchet of 56 after 2. 1, 2. I think you can be really quite demonstrative about the first note of this section. The suggestion is that you play it fortissimo and that it's short. Back bow, and I think you really can use the whole bow near the bridge, speedy, and with plenty of weight on here. If you do any 2 of those things without the third, it won't work. So if you're right on top of the bridge and you're using plenty of bow, but you don't put enough pressure on, you'll get that kind of whistling sound with the bow not quite connected to the string. If you're near the bridge and you put plenty of pressure on but you don't move it fast enough, you'll get that horrible crunching. If you're not close to the bridge but you put lots of pressure on and use lots of bow, again you get that kind of slightly raspy sound rather than a good connection to the string. So you need all 3. Once you've got it, fully commit to it and just go for it. So you're aiming for a really full bodied sound. Lots of pressure, lots of weight here, lots of speed. So you should get, and here we are, look, back at the heel again, ready for the next one. And now we're perfectly at the tip. So the bowing in that section works really nicely. You just have to, the knack with that is to commit to it and then just be confident that if you do all of those things you'll get a decent sound. Let's try it together, just the last section. So 65, it goes 1, 2, 3. It's such a good piece for different uses of different parts of the bow. Quavers that are nicely at the tip, not too much bow but varied in length, that really dramatic back bow, the falling away at the ends of phrases. Lots of things to think about in something where the notes are not terribly difficult. So how about then, we go from the top, I'm going to just play you the ground all the way through. So I'll count you in. From the top all the way to the end. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.